Hello gems, this is episode 204 in the Make an Easy Live2D VTuber model in 1 week series. Let's do a quick overview to recap what we learned in episode 1. In the last episode, you collected inspiration for your model as well as creating a mood board or a collection of mood boards. We also went over compatible drawing apps, tips and tricks, and started drawing our model. And finally, we cut the model up and got it prepared to go into Live2D Cubism and saved it out as a PSD file. Now moving into chapter 4, downloading Live2D Cubism, and we'll also be importing our model into the program. One of the best parts about Live2D is that you can download a trial version for free, or you can try Pro for 42 days. The free version has some limits, so I do recommend trying Pro for 42 days as you follow this tutorial with me. I'll leave a link below showing you the differences of Pro versus the free version that you're free to explore. Toward the end of the series, I'll talk about why investing in Live2D Cubism long term can be incredibly beneficial for you. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and click the big download button, and I'll leave a link below as well, and export the exe. You can go through these next few pieces on screen here with me, and once you install everything and you're good to go, you can launch Live2D Cubism. I'll be using version 5.2.01 in this video. In chapter 5 is importing your model and Deformer setup. Upon launch, you'll be shown a pop-up menu choosing how you want to use Live2D Cubism. For this video, we're going to start with the Pro version free trial, and then you'll be brought to a menu with a ton of additional helpful guides and resources. Make sure to check those out when you get the chance. Next, let's go to File, New, and you'll see all your recent files and even your favorited files in this menu. Now you can type in a canvas size to start with in pixels for a model, or directly drop your PSD file in here. Quick tip, if you want to turn your space into dark mode, go to File, Environment Settings, Dark, and click OK. Make sure to save your project first. I like to name my project and add V001 for version 1. You can save multiple versions down the line in case you need to roll back to an earlier version of your model. Next, restart the program. Let's click select a file and grab that PSD we saved from the last video, then select full scale so we can get the highest model quality possible. Next, we'll be setting up our model in the Deformer section, and before we do that, if you want your workspace to look like mine, you can grab tabs and move them around just like this. Alright, so let's start with our warp deformer. So what a warp deformer is this up here. There's different types that we have. We do have a rotation deformer and we have a warp deformer. We're going to be using only the warp deformer for this series. Basically what it does is it allows you to move the different parts of your model, bend them, and shape them the way you want. And you can use some of that while you're animating your model, which we'll be looking more into a little bit later. But we're just going to set this all up beforehand. So the first one we want, we're just going to click on any layer here. It really doesn't matter to start because we can just move them. All right, I'm also going to move over to our layers over here so you can see all the layers you had in your drawing program, and you can delete layers here too. So I have some in here that we don't need that I can just delete and get rid of to clean things up a little bit. Okay, and for our first warp deformer, we're just going to select the hair for now, and I'm going to click on the warp deformer, and we're going to go ahead and highlight the name and just call this body Y. So Y is moving up and down and X is moving left to right. So always keep that in mind. I like to remember it that Y has that long kind of stick on the bottom of the letter, which means up and down, and then X kind of goes across, right? So just thinking of the letter shape. Okay, next we'll open the destination part, and we'll just change this to body, so making sure those two things line up with whatever you're creating. And this is where you can actually customize the warp deformer itself. That's a little bit more advanced. We're just going to leave them as is for this simple model. And then we'll also make it a parent of the selected object. A parent just means it's in charge of anything that might be underneath it, which again we'll see a little bit more about later. Okay, so let's go ahead and click create. Now this is supposed to be for the whole body, so it is a problem if it's only attached to the hair. So I'm going to click Control Shift on my keyboard, and I'm going to go ahead and make this bigger. And now I'm going to hold down Control and Shift to move this. And I just keep holding down Control and Shift while I'm messing with these. I can release Shift and just hold Control if I want to make it not scale evenly, which we want right now. And we'll just get this to pretty much cover the whole body. We just want it to be able to cover the whole body so that we're able to get the control that we need. So I'm just going to keep messing with this until it looks good. This looks good to me. So this will be the parent of everything else that we make. So it's just the one that's in charge of everything. Okay, so first let's let's make the ear deformers. So now we can go ahead and click on our ears. So let's start with ear R, create a deformer, and see how this says destination part ears. Just make sure that that lines up again with whatever part you're actually creating. And then for the name, we'll just call this ear R. And of course, we do want this as the parent of the ear. We want it to be on top of the ear, and then we'll click create. So there is the ear, and you can see how this is going to control that ear uniquely. And we're going to move everything under body warp. So I'm just going to go ahead, click and drag ear, see how a body warp is highlighting, and drop it in there. So now when I collapse body warp, everything is underneath that branch. So we'll want everything to pretty much be under body warp being the main piece. Okay, so we can go ahead and close the right ear. Now let's do one for left ear. So we click on left ear and then make sure ears is selected, and we'll do ear L, ear L. Oops, there we go. And then create. And I noticed a bit of an issue with this when I was working on it earlier. So I'm just actually going to move the ear down a bit, and I'm going to make it further back. So I'm going to go ahead and select on the actual ear and turn draw order to 499. So it was at 500 before. I'm changing it to 499. It's going to send it behind everything. So you can use draw order at any time to move any of your layers in front or behind. Or the higher the number, the closer, the more front of the layers it is, and the lower the number, the further back in the layers it is. So it's going to be like underneath things. So I do want this to be lined up with that. Okay, perfect. And now ear R has its warp and ear L has its warp. And remember, it's her left and her right. Great. And I'm also going to actually move the bow just down a little to fix a little bit of how it looks on the ear. This is just kind of like some post editing I'm doing. All right, so ear L and ear R are good. We're gonna move ear L into body warp, and then again, we can go ahead and collapse that. Next, let's do eyebrow L and eyebrow R. So we'll go ahead and click warp deformer, make sure it's in the eyebrows, eyebrow L, and then we'll do the same thing for the other one. Drag this into body warp and open that up if we want to be able to see it again. Click on eyebrow R, new warp deformer, it's in the eyebrows, great. Eyebrow R, create. Awesome, and then we'll drag that into the body warp as well. So everything's just kind of moving on down. Next, I'm going to do the hair actually. So we'll go ahead and create a warp. It's under hair, great. I'll just type this as hair. Super simple, and that looks like that's covered too. Next, let's do the mouth. So mouth will be a little bit more complicated. So one thing I did have to go back and do is split the top mouth from the bottom mouth. And there'll be plenty of times when you're working on models where, oh, you realize you didn't cut it up exactly the way you needed. Maybe you just weren't thinking ahead, or maybe it's like your third model or you're still learning, and that's totally okay. So all you'll do is you'll go back to Photoshop and you can make those edits. And just like we dragged the Photoshop file in earlier, we're just gonna grab it, and then you can click and drop it here into the blank space, and it's gonna say loading PSD file. And make sure to select the current model that you're working on. You don't want to create a new model, you're just replacing the one here. And then you can click OK and click replace again this model that we're working on here. Don't create new layers or anything like that, just click OK. And that's gonna go ahead and update your file in the back here super simply, and you can update and make changes anytime. We'll do that a little bit later in the series as well, but do keep in mind that you can make changes if you need to and just replace the file. So let's create a warp deformer. So again, make sure you have the upper and the lower line art, so make sure to make that edit with your art file and bring in that new PSD file into Live2D. And then we'll just call this mouth LA for mouth line art, and then we'll click create. Great, and we got that one, and remember, and we'll just keep dropping that into the body warp, and then we'll do one for mouth LA lower, mouth LA lower. Okay, and then we'll drag and drop that into body warp. Close that. And next we'll do the teeth. So go ahead and new layer. That's fine if it's in mouth. There's no one for teeth here. And we'll just call this teeth. Create, drag and drop that in the body warp. And then we'll do one for tongue and for back mouth as well. So let's do tongue. Great. And then back mouth. Click that. Back mouth. Create. Let's drag and drop both of these in the body warp. So these are their own individual components, but what happens if we want to move the whole mouth together? This is when creating more warp deformers within each other will be really helpful. The parent and the child relationship. So what we can do is we can select on any one that has to do with the mouth here. I'm just going to start with the back mouth because it's kind of the biggest section that we have. And then we'll click create. And I'm just going to call this mouth deformer because it's kind of going to encompass everything. So we'll click that. And now we have mouth deformer with back mouth in it. I'm going to hold Control and Alt just to make this a little bit bigger to make sure it's encapsulating everything. And then we can move the tongue into mouth deformer, teeth, mouth line art, lower and upper. So basically we're just putting all the mouth elements within the mouth deformer, because now if we want to move everything at once, we're able to do that. And then if we need individual control of components, we also have that capability. So it gives us a lot of flexibility to work with when we're animating our model. So just keep that structure in mind. You can do anything like that for any of the pieces with your model to be able to have either more control or less control. There's no specific rules, no specific naming system that you have to use. That's all up to you and how you set it up. Next, we're going to do the iris main R. So let's go to iris main R. It's under IR, which is exactly what we want. We'll do iris main R. Click create. Great. And that has our iris. Awesome. And then we'll do the same thing for the left one. So go ahead and create that. And we'll call this iris IL. Create. Now this one's going to get a little crazy, but we got this. The eyes are definitely the most complicated part, but we're just going to work our way through it. So you're just going to go through everything and create deformers for them. So let's go ahead and do that. So highlight L. Let's create a warp deformer. We'll just call this highlight L. And I'm just going to go through each one and I'm going to do a little bit of a speed here. You can slow down the video if you want to see what I'm naming everything while we go through the eyes. Once you fill out all the pieces for the eyeliner and the eyelashes, the eyes, we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to select the eye white and I'm going to create a new warp deformer and we're just going to call this straight up IL, and then we're going to hold Control and Alt to make that a bit bigger. This is for the entire eye, and we're going to move all the IL pieces underneath it. So anything that's IL, drop it in the IL deformer. All right, and it looks like we got all the IL pieces in there. We're going to do the same with the right eyes. So I'm going to go back and select the eye whites here, and then we're going to create a new warp deformer. Just call this IR. Create that. Let's just drag this, make sure it's kind of up and on top of everything, and then we'll start moving all of our warp deformer pieces in here so that everything is encompassed in the IR. Okay, and then we can collapse that and see how we have each of the eyes here. And of course, we'll select both of these. I'm just holding down Shift to select both, move them, drop them in the body warp. All right, next we're going to select the bow, create a warp deformer. This is going to be in the hair part, so we'll just type bow. Great. And I'm actually just going to move the clips inside the hair piece. We don't necessarily need a separate one for that. So we're just going to move those together, and then we'll create a warp deformer and call this head. And then we'll do one for the body as well. So click on that and then call this body. Make sure again that the destination part is body. Booty. Okay, body. And we'll drag and drop this in the open. It looks like we somehow lost the body Y deformer. I must have dragged it into something, so I'm just, oh, here it is, body warp. We're just gonna go ahead and put that, move the bow in here, move the head in there, then move body in there. So we're going to auto-generate meshes. So meshes allow us to animate and move around pieces as well. They're kind of like the polygons of a model. So if you're familiar with 3D modeling at all, the different pieces you can make a model up of are called polygons. So this is similar for Live2D. And how we're going to do this is click Control A, which will select everything, and then we'll click up here and click auto, and we'll just click little deformation because this is a smaller model we're working on. And we're just going to go little deformation for this one. You can do standard, heavy. These are kind of presets that you can work with. And there's more customized information you can put here once you start learning more about how this all works. Then we can X out of this. So everything does look a little crazy, and there are going to be some pieces we want to rework. At a higher level, you'd really want to heavily optimize your meshes so you can have more control over your animation, so being able to optimize each individual piece, but auto-generating meshes works for the use case we're going with. So we're going to create some custom ones for the main pieces we're going to be working with. So I'll go ahead and select this eyelash here, and then we're going to go into the manual meshing, which is this one with the pen compared to the auto. So we'll go ahead and click that. And if you have tool details, you can see your tool details here. And if you don't have that, you can go to window and make sure tool details is open. So we'll click on the eraser and we can just erase everything here. And then we'll go to the plus, and then of course the minus takes away, the plus adds, and you have a few other tools in there as well. And we're just going to go around this. I'm just going to kind of space things out evenly and kind of wrap around the lash. So I'm just going to kind of make sure each point has like a buddy that goes across, like the buddy system. So we're like, okay, just make sure that it's gonna be lined up. Boom, boom, boom. And then we can go down here and link those. And now you can see there's kind of this crisscross pattern going on. This is pretty common. We can do something like this. We want it to try and be pretty much as evenly spaced as we can get it, So really do your best with that. We'll just kind of go through this zigzag pattern, and then we'll click check when we're done with that. And we're going to actually do this for every piece in here, for the eyelashes, for the eyebrows, the mouth. So this is going to take a little bit of time. I'm just going to go ahead and speed this part of the video up. You're more than welcome to slow it down and see how I'm setting them up. Alright, and now that I finished doing the right eye, I'll skip to the eyebrow because I'll let you do the other eye on your own. Okay, so for the eyebrow, let's go to Edit, Eraser. We're pretty much doing the same type of shape. Okay, and then we can click check, and then we'll do the same for this one. Okay, then we click check, go back to this pointer tool, and then we're good to go. Okay, so now we want to set up the Deformer Path Edit tool. This is another way you can move different parts of your art, just like we have the warp deformers as one way to move and bend and manipulate the art. We have this up here, which is the Deform Path Edit tool. So this is really good for things like eyebrows, eyelashes, etc. So we'll go ahead and select on the eyebrow R and click on the plus pen here. And we'll just go ahead and drop down. You can space them evenly apart, and this is also called the worm tool, pretty much just space things out evenly. So now if we move back to our cursor here, you can see when I move the eyebrow that we are able to manipulate it. So this is going to be really good when we're doing specific face expressions. You need to bend the eyebrow, different parts like that. So we're going to do that for both eyebrows. So go ahead and set that up to fit your character's eyebrows. We go back to this tool, remember, and then we're going to do the same for each of the eyes too. So I'll just show you this eye, and then I'll allow you to do the other eye. Okay, and next we're going to do the mouth. So the mouth deformer actually looks pretty solid. We have a straight line here with some triangles on top. I like that. So if yours is not looking something like this, you could take a look at how mine looks and do your mesh edit manually. The bottom looks fine too, definitely something we can work with. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the top mouth and grab our worm tool, and we're just going to follow the kind of curves of the mouth. So we select back to our cursor, so again you can see how nicely that moves, and then we'll select the bottom and we'll just do the same thing. We're just going to drop some points in here. Boom. Okay, and then back to this. Great. And we'll be starting to animate the eye blink in the next episode, but before that we're also going to set up our expressions in the parameters over here. So this is what's going to allow us to actually make the animations happen and be recorded. So if you've ever heard of keyframes, you can imagine maybe, for example, the left side of this is a keyframe and the right side is a keyframe. So if something happens, it basically says if when blank thing happens, like you blink, move to this keyframe. When you open your eyes, move to this keyframe. So that's kind of how that works, and we'll be talking about that more in the next episode. But for now, let's just create a folder down here, and we're just going to call this expressions. Again, no rhyme or reason exactly for these. You can name them what you need to name them. And then we'll go ahead and click plus for a new parameter. And we're going to be doing a simple on and off function. So we'll have two keyframes, one for basically turning the light switch on. This expression is turned on. Then you turn it off. This expression is turned off. Here is a list of the common face expressions you might see. If there's any you think that should be added, feel free to drop a comment below. This is the document from the first episode, but I'll leave a link as well for it again in the description. But again, pretty much the world is your oyster. You could choose anything that fits your character or what you want. You can even add more expressions later. So we're gonna do angry, sparkle eyes, and hard eyes. So we'll just start with angry, and make sure you have in the ID the name of whatever this name is. It has to be exactly the same right after param. Keep param in there, then name that. And yep, we'll have 1 as the max and -1 as the minimum. So that's how far it's basically sliding over here on the keyframe. So turn the light switch on, turn the light switch off. We'll click OK. Angry's in the expressions, then we'll click plus. Let's name this sparkle eyes, and sometimes I'll just highlight this copy and paste it after the parameter. -1, 1, perfect. And then we'll do another plus, and we'll call this heart eyes. Oops, I'm just gonna make that all one word to make it easier. Param, that, -1, 1, perfect. Okay, and then those are gonna be ready for once we start animating the different expressions. We will bring the model back into Photoshop to add additional pieces for the expressions depending on what you're wanting to do. Great, now that we have everything set up in Live2D, in part 3 of 4, we'll begin rigging, which will start bringing your character to life. We'll rig the eyes, the eyebrows, and the mouth. Good work, and I'll see you in part 3.